Alrighty. Hello, everyone. I see that we are now live. So welcome to our kind of secondary town hall here for a TMF University follow-up. I know I talked with a lot of people a few weeks ago about TMF University. That's something we like to do to remain engaged with our learners and potential learners, to just provide some background about the program. And we did receive quite a few follow-up questions about some of the offerings of TMF University, the flexibility that we offer within the program, because we had talked about kind of how courses are delivered. So I wanted to take some more time today to kind of jump back on and network with everyone to talk through the flexibility that we have to you all as learners or potential learners within the program. So we're going to talk through your schedule, your choice. So I have a couple of items for us to go through. So our agenda here, we're really going to talk through, first and foremost, your interest as a learner. So we'll kind of talk about how you can navigate the courses really depending on your specific interests, the topics that are engaging to you, if you want to take one of 9 courses or all 9 courses that we do offer. We'll also talk about some of the options that we offer for your participation, whether you choose to go a certificate route or an accreditation route. We'll talk about some of the differences there and what that means for you as a learner and your outcomes at the end. We'll also be talking about that flexibility for your schedule if something was to come up. And then I do have some time at the end for Q&A. I know we've gotten questions since the last town hall that might come up again, and I've tried to address those specifically within our topics today. But if you do have questions, you are welcome to engage and ask those questions, and we can certainly address those. So let's kind of dive into the areas of interest. So in developing TMF University, the goal was to offer an accredited or more controlled program to build TMF professionals. So there's 9 courses across 3 different levels that we believe allow learners to achieve that TMF manager or that expert level of knowledge in managing the trial master file. But we recognize that all learners don't have the same goals. And that was also one of the thoughts that we had as we developed the courses in the way that they are structured. So TMF University does offer 3 learning levels. You can see those on the left-hand side of your screen: the Discovery, the Immersion, and the Mastery courses. In each of those levels, there are 3 courses for your competencies. So within the Discovery level, we have courses that are a little bit more foundational to understanding the trial master file. So things like Introduction to TMF, Document QC, and TMF indexing. At the immersion level, we get a little bit more complex in our topics, talking through things such as TMF QC, audits and inspections, and TMF technology considerations. And then we round things out in our mastery levels that are more specific to items such as regulatory expectations and current regs, TMF process, and TMF metrics. So one of the questions that we got based off of our last town hall was, do I have to participate in every single course in TMF University? You don't. You don't have to participate in every single course. The next slide, we will talk about the certification or the accreditation offerings that we offer. Depending on your goals, that might impact the courses that you want to take. So if you are someone maybe newer to the industry and you want to get a better understanding of document quality expectations, like our Alcoa principles that we know and love, the Document QC course may be the only course right now that's interesting to you. Perhaps you're not ready to take on TMF technology or TMF metrics, or perhaps you think Introduction to Trial Master File may be a little bit too foundational. So you really want to focus on Document QC. Can I do that? You absolutely can engage in only that course within the TMF University program. That's entirely up to you. You don't have to pay for the other courses. You can just pay for that course if that is your interest. If you are really interested in better understanding the expectations for performing a TMF QC or a quality review or a completeness review, we do call that a couple of different things. Then you do have the option to just take the TMF QC course if that's what's most interesting to you. Maybe you really want to know about Document QC and TMF QC. Can I only take those 2 courses? Absolutely. You can do that as well. So you could really pick and choose to engage in the topics that are most interesting to you if that's your goal. You just want a refresher training in certain elements, you want a better understanding of certain courses or certain concepts within the TMF space. Entirely up to you, the courses that you take, if that's just your intended goal to really be specific in a targeted area or maybe just a couple of areas, you can certainly do that. So if you are someone who is maybe thinking about a very specific focused type of learning in a particular area, we'll have on our final slide a link that you can go to that allow you to kind of look into our courses in a bit more detail to see which one might be the best fit for you. So we do have 9 in total. So if there's a specific area that you're curious about, you can absolutely explore those options further. If you want us to kind of talk through a particular course with you, we're happy to network. We can jump on a call. We can talk via email. Our contact information will also be available at that link. So don't be shy in reaching out and asking questions. If this is what I want to know more about, which course might be the best fit, and we'll certainly talk you through that. We want to make sure, again, my goal as the instructor in TMF University is to make sure the interest of learners are captured in the courses that we do deliver. So if there's topics you're interested in, absolutely reach out. So yes, you absolutely can take 1 of 9 courses, 3 of 9, 6 of 9, 8 of 9, or you can take all 9 courses within the program. But then kind of the follow-up question is then, okay, what are the differences here if I'm only taking maybe 1 of the courses or if I'm only taking 2 of the courses? You talked about this accreditation that you all offer. So TMF University is an accredited program in partnership with IAOCR. So we're currently the world's only accredited program for TMF professionals, and we offer 2 accreditation pathways. That is for learners who are TMF associates. They would complete the discovery. So we can go back. A TMF associate would complete the discovery and immersion levels. And our TMF managers would complete the discovery, immersion, and mastery levels. So what's the difference in a certificate and an accreditation from a TMF University perspective? So for those of you that maybe only want to participate in one course, you may be thinking to yourself, well, how do I have proof? What do you offer to me as a learner to say I went through this course as part of TMF University? So we do have certificates that are available that acknowledge your participation in the courses. So with that certificate, you still attend the instructor-led courses that are part of the TMF University program. So they are those virtual live sessions with me as your facilitator. Just like if you were taking all 9 courses, you would be in the same courses with learners that are maybe only taking 1 or 2 courses. So yes, you will be in those live sessions. However, the program for that certificate option is really attendance only. So what that means, and one of the differences from the accreditation, is that the certificate of participation says you attended this course. The larger difference in our accreditation process is that if you are seeking your accreditation for TMF University, you have to demonstrate your knowledge and understanding of the concepts that we're discussing. So that is those assessment portfolios that I mentioned in the last town hall. So for those seeking accreditation, you have a little bit of homework to do once the class is done. You have to be able to address situational based questions or conceptual questions around TMF management and oversight. So that accreditation requires a little bit more work. So think of it almost like an interview. When somebody asks you about your experiences, you're able to talk through these concepts more deeply. You are demonstrating that to us as an assessor team for TMF University, that you have the expected knowledge and skills to carry out these tasks in the future. That is what that accreditation is really proving to potential employers, to colleagues, or peers within the industry. The certificate says, I attended this course, right? It doesn't necessarily say that I fully understand all of that material. You don't have that accreditation where you have proved your understanding, but you have attended the courses. So again, you would have that certificate of participation that does say, I did attend this course within TMF University. University. Whereas in the accreditation, as mentioned, you do have a bit more work that is required, usually between probably 2 to 3 hours for a portfolio to be completed to demonstrate your understanding. It's not true or false questions. We don't say, does TMF stand for trial master file? We're talking more questions along the lines of, what is the purpose of the trial master file? What is a potential consequence if you don't maintain the TMF index? What are strategies that you might implement to maintain ongoing oversight of the trial master file? And you would have to explain to us how you would demonstrate those particular areas. So that gives us that full understanding of the topics and courses that we do cover. So again, certificates can be issued for any of our 9 courses. The accreditation is offered for the TMF Associate or TMF Manager. If you complete Discovery and Immersion, again, that's our TMF Associate accreditation. And the TMF Manager accreditation is completing all 3 levels or all 9 courses. And so for those looking for the accreditation of TMF Associate or TMF Manager, and you're maybe thinking to yourself, well, if I want to be an associate or I want to be a TMF Manager and gain that accreditation, can I pick and choose the courses, like take one course from each level? To gain that accreditation, the expectation is that you would complete all the courses associated. So again, associate, you would complete all 6 courses across Discovery and Immersion, and the Manager accreditation, you would complete all 9 courses that we do offer, along with those assessment portfolios. So please let me know, for anybody that's listening in, if you want a little bit more clarification around the different options of attendance, the amount of work that's involved. I can certainly clarify that a bit more deeply, but I just kind of try to walk through our options here. So if you really, somebody's like, well, why would I want to do certificate over accreditation? If you're someone that's really just wanting to know about one specific area, document QC, maybe certificate is the way to go. But if you're somebody who's really looking to have that kind of TMF professional accreditation to demonstrate on your CV or your resume, and to kind of gain a better skill set of managing the trial master file, you're really wanting to maybe make a career out of the TMF, perhaps that accreditation route is a better option for you. Again, the reason I like the accreditation route is it challenges you, right? That assessment portfolio is specifically there to challenge your understanding of the material, to make sure that when you leave or graduate from the program, that when you go to a meeting with a sponsor or a CRO, or you're engaging internally, you feel confident in the knowledge and the skills that you have to carry out those tasks. That's really the goal there with that accreditation piece. But again, if there's any specific questions, absolutely feel free to let me know. So a couple other comments that I like to make is around our flexibility that we offer within the program. So I certainly recognize that TMF University is often in addition to what you're currently doing in your day-to-day roles. So probably within your professional career, within your own personal life, TMF University is something on top of or in addition to all of those tasks. So it's almost like you're taking a graduate program or enrolling back in school. It's additional work on top of everything else. And we recognize that. So we do offer flexibility for learners. If there's anyone concerned, we do have a cohort coming up. I mentioned that in our last town hall. It's kicking off in about 2 weeks. In October, starting that week of the 10th of October. That'll be our discovery level. And I know the end of the year is often a very hectic time with holidays that are coming up, especially internationally. There's a lot of holidays. In the US where I'm located, there's quite a few holidays. And you may be thinking the end of the year is often a tough time to really maybe engage in one more thing that we're already doing, all of these others. However, I do like to mention, similar to a lot of things that we see across many industries, we do see price increases in program offerings, typically annually, and we're anticipating that for TMF University as well for 2024. So in order to lock in that pricing for 2023, you could register for the 2023 cohorts, perhaps participate in the courses. And if things get a little bit hectic, holidays start coming up and you don't have time to maybe dedicate to the assessment portfolios, or maybe you need to defer your classes, we offer learners up to 6 months to defer. So what that means is if you were to register today for TMF University for our October, November, and December courses, And let's say you make it through discovery and you get through all the courses and things are great, but we get to November when immersion kicks off and things start to get a little bit hectic. Your end of year study deliverables are picking up. You're also having challenges with maybe balancing all the holidays that are coming up. And you say, well, I paid for this program and I have to complete it, and it becomes stressful. Stop. Take a moment to pause, reach out to us to say, hey, things have gotten a little hectic here. What are my options? You've got 2 more cohorts that you could potentially work through. So we'd have another cohort that kicks off in January, and then we would have another cohort that kicks off in April. So it'd go January, February, March, April, May, June, and you could pick up right where you left off. You could also be working in the background on your portfolios for the courses that you do attend. Maybe it's just the portfolios that are taking you a bit more time than you thought. You're able to attend the classes. We can be working on those over those months of deferral so that it's a little bit, right? We're doing little sprints along the way instead of having to do this big marathon all at once. We do offer that flexibility in case things do come up. I will say a very large majority of our learners do complete the program in the cohort that they do initially register for, but life happens. Unexpected things come up, and it's totally fine. So I don't want anybody to think that they would waste their investment if they're not able to complete the courses in that initial 3 months. We are here to work with you. I try to start every cohort with that kind of conversation saying, hey, if things change, just reach out to me. I don't want this to be a stressful experience for you. I'm very transparent. I mentioned this in our course, or excuse me, in our last town hall, that, I don't want to be a salesman around the Trial Master file. I want you to understand the Trial Master file for what it is. It's not everybody's favorite topic. There are lots of complexities and issues around functional area engagement, understanding what the Trial Master file is. And I try to have that same approach about the courses that we deliver. If you need a little bit more time, just let me know. That flexibility is there. So learners had kind of asked, what happens if I kind of need to drop out, right? Am I penalized there? Do I have to re-register and repay? No. So again, if you lock in the 2023 pricing, you register, and let's say you defer to 2024, prices have increased, you don't have to pay that difference, right? You've already paid for the program, and now you have that additional 6-month buffer if that's what you would like to do. So certainly we will accommodate you in a way that works best. So just let us know how we can best support you if things do get a little bit hectic. And again, you could perhaps register for our discovery cohort. We have different options as well. So maybe let's revisit that. If you're someone that maybe just wants to kind of, dive into, maybe not dive in, we'll put our toes in the water, right? Maybe that's a better way to say it here. You want to see what TMF University is all about. So you want to start with the discovery level and see if you find this interesting, engaging, how that assessment portfolio process works. And you want to get the accreditation. So you may be thinking, well, I want to go for the TMF manager. I really like the TMF. I see myself making a career out of this. I think it might be impactful, but I just want to test the waters here. Can I register for only discovery, go through the program, go through the assessment portfolios, and maybe next year, could I go through immersion and mastery? Absolutely. You can do that as well. You can kind of take a staggered approach. That is fine. Let's say you complete discovery and immersion and then later decide, hey, I want to go for that TMF manager accreditation. Can I do that? You absolutely can add that on as well. It's kind of whatever suits your needs. Maybe you complete the program and then, 3 or 4 months later decide, hey, actually, I like this TMF thing. I want to go for that TMF manager accreditation and round out my last 3 courses. We will gladly welcome you back. So it's not a all or nothing type approach within TMF University. There's a little bit for everyone, whether there's one class that's very interesting to you or all 9 classes are the tasks that you want to take on. Just communicate with us. Let us know your intents there. That kind of rounds out the discussion that I want to have. I anticipated probably around that 15 to 20 minutes of conversation today. I just have one last slide here. There is a code there that you can scan that will allow you to bring up the TMF University webpage, we also have the link. It says register for TMF University, but if you go to tmf-university.com, you're also going to see just information about the program. I think my face might pop up there if it's a little jump scare for you. Sorry, just giving some background about me as the facilitator. And then you're going to see our course offerings, our potential schedules for the next cohort that should be coming up. The 2024 dates are being finalized around our holiday calendars, but those should be posted in the coming month or so. But there's a lot of information on that webpage. It's not just about registration. So do feel free to scan the QR code or to go to that link directly to find a bit more information. But I think I've covered the majority of the topics that I wanted to go through based off just the questions we had. And really it's centered around flexibility of the courses. One thing I haven't mentioned, so they are instructor led. So kind of keep going back through slides. That's why we like them. All of our courses are instructor led. They're currently scheduled. Our current cohorts are Monday and Wednesday. So I deliver them from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern on Monday and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. That's our current schedule. So as far as how the courses are delivered, that schedule is set. So when you see on the registration page our course schedule, we tell you the times, we tell you the dates. There's not as much flexibility around, can I attend is there a Tuesday option or a Thursday option? The schedule that we have posted is the schedule that we offer. One thing to mention, let's say you register for the Monday courses and something comes up. Monday's very hectic. Could I potentially attend the Wednesday course for this week? Yeah, you can jump on that call. That is totally fine. We offer that flexibility as well. One thing I didn't mention, I keep thinking of these things. One point leads to another. Let's say you have to miss a class. Are you penalized? So life happens, emergency comes up at work. That 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time is often right in the middle of the day for a lot of our learners. So what happens if I have a client meeting? Do I have to defer my TMF University participation 3 months until it's offered again? No. So if you do have to miss a course, an emergency does come up, you're not penalized. You are offered the recordings to the materials. We have supplemental office hours that you can also attend to ask questions about the course to kind of gain back that time that was perhaps lost. So I do also like to mention that to learners. If you think that perhaps you're going to be on vacation for one of the weeks, it's okay. We have recordings. We have supplemental office hours to attend that you are welcome to kind of get that time back to, orient yourself in those particular materials. That is also an option for you as a learner. So don't think if you see the schedule and you know that you'll be gone for 1 week or one of the days that you can't participate. You absolutely can. People have missed courses in the past. They've done totally fine. Just let us know how we can support you. So, all right, I've jumped around the slides enough. I'll see if any comments come in from questions, perhaps from any live feeds here. Just give it a couple minutes, or maybe not a couple minutes, a few seconds to see if anything comes in. Otherwise, I may let everybody go. Let me see. Okay. In the courses, does the university cover or expose every platform that are being utilized? Are we able to have playground access for learning? Okay, great question here. So one of the challenges with TMF University is the approach that we take is system agnostic, meaning we haven't prioritized one system over another. The concepts that we talk about should be applicable to any platform that you are using. The learners that we've had in TMF University come from a variety of platforms and experiences. So we don't offer a system-based experience for a particular platform because it may only be applicable to some learners. We supplement that by recreating those exercises in an online environment. So you will have experience with hands-on things like document review with TMFQC. We do have conversations around things like metadata and indexing documentation. But for those of us that have worked in systems, we know that even if both users work in system A, right? We're both working in the same system, our configurations may be entirely different. So as we've designed the program, we've really focused on what are the best practices and the skills that are necessary to work within these systems rather than focusing on the system itself. So fantastic question there. So we don't necessarily have a system playground, but we do have the ability to kind of work in those virtual environments. Let's see. I know I see a couple more coming through, perhaps. Just gonna see. I know those of you that have used the chat, I can kind of see some stuff coming in as well. Thank you to my colleagues for kind of responding back there. There was some comments just around courses that are offered, and then also I think a comment had come through. One option or one comment that kind of comes through in all of our town halls is around just general like job placement. Is that something that we offer as part of the TMF University program? So we don't offer an official job placement, and we don't try to sell TMF University as a job placement program. We are giving you the skills necessary to have better and more engaging interviews, and we are giving you tools and resources that will allow you to have that hands-on experience. So that question that was like, you won't have system experience, right? So you can't say, oh, I've worked in this particular platform, but you can share, I have reviewed documents for document quality, so I know what to check for. I know how to write a QC finding. I know how to resolve a finding. I just need you to tell me what system we're using, and I can learn that system side of things. So we give you the skills necessary to work within those particular platforms. So when you're asked, if you're asked in an interview, can you describe the steps that you would take to review a document for its appropriate quality standards? You will have that knowledge to answer that question. But we don't have like a one-to-one match or a job placement pipeline specific to the program. That does not mean people have not shared once they've graduated from the program that they have been successful in interviews in landing jobs. Absolutely, they have. We've seen people gain promotions or work on initiatives within their organization based off their participation in TMF University. But I don't want anyone to participate, and I don't want to certainly say to you that if you participate in TMF University, this will get you a position as a manager for the trial master file, as an eTMF specialist, as a document reviewer, because a lot of it is entirely dependent on your ability to retain the knowledge, communicate that information to the person that you're interviewing with. So we're helping you to build that skill set, but then you kind of have to execute that on the end. So do like to just make sure that's clear to everyone, because I don't want certainly anyone to participate thinking afterwards that, I personally have a job lined up for you to participate in, but always a good question to remind people of. Let's see. Don't see anything else coming through right now. I've seen a couple. Oh, okay. I think one more. Oh, great question. So, how does the program coordinate between different cohorts to ensure that transitioning students can pick up where they left off? So, that's a really good question. So, one of the things about the accreditation process is that we have a regimented program that we deliver. So, it's based off the competencies for a TMF professional, which were developed by industry subject matter experts. So, each of our courses has associated learning outcomes and assessment criteria that when you finish this course, we expect you to know this, right? And so the accreditation piece, what that does is it promotes consistency so that we're not drastically changing the courses from one cohort to the next and teaching entirely different topics and giving entirely different information. So we have that consistency built into the accreditation process. And with our scheduling, so if you want to pick up exactly where you left off, what we do is just reach out to individuals when they notify us that they want to defer. We often know the schedule for typically we plan it out a year in advance. So I will know in the next coming weeks all of the available schedule for 2024. And so if you were in January, you needed to defer, I could tell you the dates that you could pick back up in and what would work best. And then we just communicate. And when the schedule is sent out, you're just included on those invites and you pick up right where you left off. And then we have office hours. Again, those are so beneficial because it's kind of additional time for individuals to kind of come in, ask questions so you can kind of reorient yourselves. But we have the schedule posted, the material is consistent, so you're able to just kind of come back in exactly where you left off. Let's see if anything else comes in here. Just seeing if we got any more questions. Let me see here. All right. I think I haven't seen any more specific questions come in about the TMF University program. I know we've got a couple questions specific to like an individual. So some people have reached out about individual specific questions, and we will address those as a team and follow up with those individuals. They seem to be very targeted to an individual's interest. So we'll make sure that we specifically address that offline. But as you can see here, you can scan your QR code. You can follow that link to TMF University, participate in the courses. The pricing information is available. The current published schedule is also available for October through December. But if you do have questions, if something's not clear, we always want to make sure that we're providing a clear picture to potential learners. So if something's unsure to you that you want us to make sure is communicated more effectively, please let us know. But a happy Thursday to everyone, right at about 30 minutes. So hopefully everybody can enjoy the rest of that 30 minutes that we'll give back. If there is anything specific that you want to know from us, please reach out. Our contact information will be on our webpage. Just thank you, everybody, for the active engagement. We really appreciate that. If there's anything else you need, don't hesitate to contact me. But I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend.